Ready, huh? Hari Om. Let's start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadasi 8th chapter, Kutastha Deepa Prakaranam, where Vidyaranya is discussing how to differentiate of pure consciousness, which is all pervading, called Kutastha Chaitanyam, same as Sakshi Chaitanyam, from the reflected consciousness or Chidabhasa. Now the discussion is of the two theories of Jiva and Ishvara. One is Avachedavada and Abhasavada. Avachedavada involves just an enclosure like Ghatakashaha and Mahakashaha. So Ghatakashaha is a Jiva, a local space being enclosed by the pot walls. You call a pot space, and the space of the total space. You have a pot space and the total space, and the total space is Brahman, pot space is the local, which is the Jiva. The conditioning is due to the walls, pot walls. That's called Avachedavada. And that theory has been used in order to explain how the local space merges into total space. Local space is not really different from the total space. It appears to be different because of the pot walls. So therefore, pot moving from one place to other place is same way Jiva moves from one place to other place. So pot space thinks that I am only pot space is a Jiva notion in the pot space. Same way, a consciousness that is enclosed in the Buddhi is like the pot walls, enclosed in the Buddhi, thinks that I am a local guy. And merging is nothing but either the space has to merge with the total, or when the walls are broken apart, or recognition that I am the total space that pervades the total space as well as the pot wall, the Buddhi walls as well as the inside. So without need of any Buddhi, cognitively I have to understand that I am a total space even though I am enclosed in the local space. So that is a Avachedavada. Abhasavada involves the pure consciousness, and there is a Buddhi, and there is a reflection of the Buddhi in the mind, and because the Buddhi is made up of the subtle material and it has a capacity to reflect. Because it has a capacity to reflect, it will reflect. When there is a total light is there. Total light is always there. That is pure consciousness, which is infinite and Nityam and Satyam. It's always there, and therefore its light of consciousness is always there, and wherever there is a Buddhi, since it has a capacity to reflect, it will reflect, and the reflected consciousness makes the Buddhi as a conscious entity. So by reflecting the consciousness, local Buddhi also has become a reflected Buddhi or conscious Buddhi, just as the moon has become a luminous entity by reflecting the sunlight. The same theory is Chidabhasa. The Jiva's notion arises in the Buddhi when the reflected consciousness thinks that I am an independent conscious entity. So I am Jiva, and he is different, she is different, and he is different, and so on, are coming from the reflected consciousness, each one Buddhi, the reflected, thinking that I am a separate conscious entity. Consciousness is coming from the pure, because Buddhi by itself has not conscious. So consciousness is coming only from the pure consciousness by the reflecting process. So this is where the two theories are. So here is using the objection of the entering, who enters what. is being questioned. And according to the creation theory, the creation occurs first by creating 5 subtle elements, and from the subtle elements gross elements are formed, and the gross elements are formed by what they call Panchikaranam. So by the division and mutual combination, what is called Panchikaranam, the Akasha divides into half, the Vayu divides into half, like each element, 5 elements divide into half, and from Akasha, the one part of the division divides into 4 more parts and distributed to other 4, whereas like that each one distributes to the remaining 4 and make it each one again complete. So Akasha, in the gross Akasha contains half of the subtle Akasha plus 1/8 of from the other elements, 4 elements, the constituting the another half, and therefore Akasha has some of Vayu, 1/8 of Vayu, 1/8 of Agni, 1/8 of water, 1/8 of Prithvi, constituting the total gross elements, and that called gross Akasha. Similarly, gross Vayu and so on, like that 5 gross elements are formed starting from the 5 subtle elements. From the subtle elements, subtle body is formed. From the gross element, gross body is formed. Gross body formed includes all the 14 lokas and the individual bodies of all the jivas. And the question in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the jiva comes into picture once the creation of the gross bodies are done. Then according to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the subtle body enters into the gross body, making it alive as though, and that within the subtle body there is a wall, as though subtle body is like a wall. It's called the total space is small space is being enclosed, and that's called conditioned consciousness, and that's how the jiva notion according to Avachedavada. According to Abhasavada, the both subtle body and the gross body together is formed now into that Atma as though quote unquote enters, and that's what being discussed here. Now Atma is entered, called coming from the Aitiriya Upanishad. What is Atma coming? Atma being infinite, it cannot come. It means it activates through the reflection process. That's what is actually entering, called Pravesha statement. So here in the 37, this theory is being accounted. Katham vidam sakshi deham, katham vidam sakshi deham, mrudate syaditiranat, mrudate syaditiranat, vidarya murdha seemanam, vidarya murdha seemanam, pravishta samsaratyayam, together, katham vidam sakshi deham, mrudite syaditiranat, vidarya murdha seemanam, pravishta samsarityayam. So I am is referring to the previous sloka, Atma Pravesham. So I am Atma, this Atma. Sa Akshi Dehat, so Saha Akshi Dehat. So along with Aksha Dehat. Aksha is eyes and Deha body. So etc. That means the eyes, that is the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, and the along with the Pancha Pranas and the Deham, the Sula Sariram. Mrudate Syad Itiranat. So mrudate, so without the consciousness, katham, how, to indeed, idam syat, how can it exist without the pure consciousness? If it says though, murdham, on the top of the skull it says, it's murdham pravishtaha, simasam, in the center of the skull, it enters as though vidarya, piercing, pravishtaha, it entered, and samsarati, and then it is essentially a jiva bhavaha, iti iranat. This has been discussed in the Aitiriya Upanishad. So Aitiriya says, this Atma, having created the world, thought how this body can function. without me activating it. So first the body is formed, the mind and everything is formed. So the Saha Aksha Dehat, along with the sense organs, signs, the subtle materials, everything else is formed, and into that entered into it. So Aitreya explains this entrance. So this Atma, intellect, created the thought. How can it enter? He says, how can it live without me, or how can it be activated without me? So Atma Sankalpaha. Sankalpa means it has it thought, how can it be alive without me? So therefore it enters through, pierced through the cranium, top of the cranium, through making a hole there and entering into that. This is how the Aitreya Upanishad explains the entrance of the Atma. So he completes the, how does the Aitreya Upanishad different from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad? What is the problem here? In the case of the Avachedavada, using a Brihadaranyaka statement, he says the Buddhi entered, and the Buddhi entered with its walls, with the consciousness which is there in the space. Therefore, that's how the Pravesha statement says that it is a wall and it is a Buddhi inside the wall, just like pot wall entered into pot with the wall entering into it, into the house. So you can, the same way, that's how Avachedavada explains. Whereas the Aitreya Upanishad, it says you read completely the Pravesha statement from all the Upanishad. In the Aitreya Upanishad, it says Atma entered. So how can Atma enter? This is Atma Sankalpa Matrena, by very thought it entered through it, through the top of it. What it entered after gross body formed and the subtle body formed, everything formed, it entered. How can it exist without me? How can it be alive without me? Therefore it entered through the cranium, making a hole there and coming inside. That's how a life enters, as though, is the explanation by the Aitreya Upanishad that the Abhasavada quotes. Now the question is 38 sloka. Katham pravishto sangasched sushtirvasya katham vada Sushtirvasya katham vada Mayikatvam tayostulyam Vinasascha samastayoho Together. Katham pravishto sangasche Sushtirvasya katham vada Mayikatvam tayostulyam Vinasascha samastayoho. So, question now is posed by the Avacheda. You say Atma entered. How can Atma enter? Asanga, because Atma has nothing to do with any of this. Asangaha. Asanga means it's unattached Atma. Atma is pure, Satchidanandam, which is infinite. How can it enter anything? And that's what is the question that is being posed by the Avachedavadi. So, Asangaha, self, Katham Pravishta. How can it enter? In case if you ask, that means if this is a question, then it is simply answered as asyaha, from the point of this asanga atma, that is from the point of the self. Srushtihi, the creation, srushtihi va, as well as other things, the creation and all things that are 9 yards that we are talking about, because it has nothing to do with Atma. Atma is ekameva advitiyam. There is no sajati vidati swagata vedas. So that's how the Upanishad starts. Then how did the creation? It cannot really create. Why? Because infinite cannot undergo creation. Creation involves a modification. It cannot create. But whole creation is there. So we are talking about different order of reality. And that comes where we have a Maya. So he's bringing Maya here. So Srushti, the creation and everything else entering, and the gross body, subtle body, 14 lokas, everything else that we are talking about, all the 9 yards, everything that is included. Srushti va means all others. Katham vada, tell me how is it possible if you ask. Tayoho, with respect to this entry, creation, Jiva and Ishvara, all this Tayoho, everything. Mayikatvam, in association with Maya, this happens. Therefore, Tulyam, similarly, Tayoho, even the entrance and creation also, that is Jiva, Ishvara, Vinashaha, destruction and creation, Samaha, they are similar. That means in the same way that it is all Mayikatvam. It is all Maya only. That means there is no real entrance, real creation, real, and within the Maya, then everything can be said possible. So therefore, the Maya aspect is itself is what is Maya? Maya is that which is not really real but appears to be real. So Krishna also says, Daivim Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. My Maya is of the nature of divine origin. Divine origin means you cannot really use your local laws in order to account Maya. So that's what is the divine origin. So it's not of the nature of that you can comprehend it. And that Maya is nothing but a force. And force is, in the physics, force is a driving force is required to contribute to a change of state. That's a fundamental law of physics. It says if there is a change of its state from a position or in the formation or its the attributes, if there is a change, then there has to be a driving force required for it. It cannot spontaneously undergo like that. And spontaneously undergoing means spontaneous force is there. So without a force, nothing will happen. So that's what is called a driving force. And even we don't see the driving force, but if there is a change of state, know that there is a force. That's how Newton saw that I don't say gravitational force, but there is a change of state from apple there to apple down. So there is a driving force that contributes to apple falling down. And the gravitational force, which I don't see, but from what I see, I have to deduce. That's what is Maya. Maya is not, I say, show me a Maya, you cannot show Maya because it's a force. So if there is a change of state, then there has to be a driving force for the change of force. If a matter, a body, it move from one place to other place, there is a force that moves that, even though I don't see the force. The fact that it has moved from one place to other place is called change of state. Similarly, he says the creation, say Tayoho, Tayo means the creation of the gross body, all the 14 lokas, as well as the subtle body, and the entering of that everything from A to Z, and Ishvara as well as Jiva, and the destruction, the death as well as creation together. So Sthiti, the creation, the Janma, Sthiti and Laya, all are in the Maya only. So therefore, Vinashaha, destruction, Samaha, similarly, everything is Maya. So how do we explain? Explain by Maya. So same way entering is also Maya. So it really not there but appears to be in that form. So appearance can be there and one can explain the appearance through Maya. If you don't know how to explain, use Maya. After all, that's all Maya anyway. So that's how the Vidyaranya explains in terms of entrance of a Jiva. Let's read 39. Samutthāyaisha bhūtebhyah Samutthāyaisha bhūtebhyah Tānyevāna vinasyati Tānyevāna vinasyati Vispashtamiti Maitreyai Vispashtamiti Maitreyai Yajnavalkya uvachahi Yajnavalkya uvachahi. Together, Samutthāyaisha bhūtebhyah Tānyevāna vinasyati Vispashtamiti Maitreyai Maitreyai Yajnavalkya uvachahi. So here is bringing the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where there is a Maitreyi Brahmanan. Maitreyi Brahmanan, where the Yajnavalkya teaches Maitreyi, and the teachings, it comes in the 4th chapter of the second chapter, 4th section, 4th Brahmana, and in fact it is repeated 2 times also. Maitreyi Brahmana occurs 2 times in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There's not much true difference between the two. And in the Maitreyi Brahmana, Yajnavalkya clears the doubt of Maitreyi. How? This is how it explains here. Samutta esha bhutebhyaha. So eshaha, this is the pure self. Bhutebhyaha, in association with the subtle and gross elements. Samuttaya, having identified with I am, this is called, was Jiva is born. Tani, this body, senses and everything else, Yesha only. Anu, later, Vinasyati, after realization, what happens? What happens after realization? When the Videha Mukti, when the Jivan Mukta, when the body drops out, what happens to the body? BMI. So there it is explained, the body, the matter becomes part of the total matter, that's called Virat, and the mind becomes a total mind, that is the Hiranyagarbha, and the intellect becomes the total intellect, that is Ishvara. So therefore you have each part component, body, mind and intellect merges into totality, become one with the totality, because that's all part of the Prakriti only. So it goes back to Prakriti. Prakriti itself all created all this, and Prakriti, it goes back into Prakriti. And what about the Jiva? Jiva is nothing but reflected consciousness. It is there as long as the reflecting medium is there. Reflection medium is not there, then pure consciousness alone is the time, all the time shining. So that's what essentially it is called merging. If here in the example of Maitreyi Brahmana, he uses that a salt doll is immersed into the ocean, and when the salt gets immersed into the ocean, what happens to the salt? It gets distributed, it becomes one with the ocean. So the whole ocean, everywhere the salt part is there, that was coming from the salt toy, is merges now with the, it doesn't disappear, it became one with the ocean. That's how the body becomes one with the total body, mind becomes one with the total mind, and intellect becomes one with the totality, and that's what is called the BMI merges back into the totality, which is a Prakriti, which is same as Maya. So it becomes a point. Mayanta Prakritim Vidyat, says the Svetoswara. And that merging, and what happens to the Jiva? Jiva is Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness. Now there is no reflecting medium, therefore it goes back. That is separate from the death of a Ajnani. In the Ajnani case, the death is moving a subtle body from the gross body, going to different lokas. So reflection occurs wherever the medium is there. Medium or two mediums are separated, one the gross material and the subtle material. In the gross material, the reflection is expressed as existence, so dead body is. So the pure consciousness is expressing in the dead body as existent aspect, and in the subtle body it is expressing as the consciousness as a life. So it is wherever it is going, as a Chidabhasa will be there, and into different lokas where it wants different body in each loka to experience that loka's experiences depending upon its punyam and papam. So this is what Yajnavalkya Maitreyi Brahmana. For those who are interested, if you go to YouTube and ask for Acharya Sadaji, there the list of where we have taken the Maitreyi Brahmana. Also we have taken all Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There are 3 or 4 types, 4 sections split into. So Maitreyi Brahmanam was covered in one of the camps, and there are about 8 videos available for the Maitreyi Brahmanam, where Yajnavalkya teaches Maitreyi, his wife, and there's a story also to start with, but there the story continues where the Maitreyi asks the question and Yajnavalkya teaches her. So that is 38, 39 we take now. That's how the 39 is Maitreya Yajnavalkya Uvacha Hi in the Maitreyi Brahmana from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now we go to the 14. Avinasyayamaatmeti Avinasyayamaatmeti Kutastha pravivechitaha Kutastha pravivechitaha Matra samsarga ichevam Matra samsarga ichevam Asangatvasya kirtanat Asangatvasya kirtanat. Together, Avinasyayamaatmeti Kutastha pravivechitaha Matra samsarga ichevam Asangatvasya kirtinat. Ayamatma, this Atma, the self, which is same as the total consciousness, which is Satchidananda. Avinashi, it is Vinashi. Vinashi is destruction, it is immutable and that which is never get destroyed. Why it doesn't get destroyed? Because it's infinite. Destruction can only be possible for finite things. Being infinite, it cannot undergo any modification, therefore it doesn't get destroyed. That which exists cannot get destroyed is the law of conservation. Krishna says in the Gita, says essentially that which exists and that which is non-existent can never come into existence, and the existence cannot disappear, and that is essentially pure law of conservation. In the Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, in the 16th mantra, says the nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sataha. Na asataha, that which is non-existent cannot come into existence, and that which is not there cannot come into new. You cannot create something new without anything before. So you cannot suddenly create something, new material cannot come. So nasate vidyato bhavo na abhavaha vidyate sataha. That which is existent cannot disappear something. So it is a law of conservation also. From the point of Sat is always there, and that is what is Brahman defined, and therefore it is Avinashaha. So Sadeva Saumya Idamagramasi, before creation existence alone was there, it is one without a second, therefore it is infinite, and that infinite existence is Avinashaha. So it does not undergo destruction. Ayamatma Avinashi iti Kutastaha. This is the nature of Kutastha Chaitanyam. The Sakshi Chaitanyam means Atma, which is indestructible. Praveshitaha, so it is Pravesham, there is Praveshitaha, it has to enter, and means I have to enter separately small one compared to other one. How does it enter? Is essentially Matra Samsaraha, in association with the Matra, in association with the senses, Samsaraha. So with the senses, that including the objects and everything else, in association with it, Asangatvasya, because of the untouchedness of it, that means it cannot be having an association directly. So, Kutastaha Pravesitaha, it enters as though without getting attached. Matra samsargaha iti evam asangatvasya kirtanat. Iti evam kirtanat. In this way, it has been sung by the seers. That means it has been glorified that it is there without getting attached. At the same time, you see beautiful things happening in its very presence. So life itself is a wonder because we don't know what life is, and pure consciousness, existence being infinite, it has asangaha, it cannot be touched. At the same time, by its mere presence itself, the body, mind, intellect are getting activated and so dynamic by reflecting that, and that's why it is being glorified as asangaha. So immortality of the jiva is comes from the asangatva atma, is pure consciousness is infinite, and reflected consciousness and the reflecting medium are changing, but there is always original consciousness along with the reflecting medium, and that constitutes what is jiva. Jiva includes, we said, three aspects. One is pure consciousness, which is asangaha, means untouched, yet in its presence there is reflection as though, quote unquote, as though occurs in the local buddhi, and there is a chidabhasa, which is local reflection. So pure consciousness OC, the reflecting medium buddhi, and the reflected consciousness chidabhasa all together constitutes a jiva. And who is a knower? When I say I am a knower, I am a doer, I am an actor, because everybody says I am, I am, I am. So what is the I am part in that? I am part is coming from the pure consciousness, and this part is coming from the body, mind, intellect, and together chow mixture is I am. So when I separate cognitively, my nature is existent consciousness that is pure. This is only adhyasa, superimposition by identifying myself with the local equipments, and that's what is called self-realization. Self-realization occurs using chidabhasa and the mind only, that I am not the chidabhasa nor the mind, but I am pure consciousness, but enlivened by the buddhi, by reflection. All that is to be understood clearly. 41. Jivapetam vavakila, jivapetam vavakila, Sariram mriyate nasaha, Sariram mriyate nasaha, Ichyatra namot vimokshaha, Ichyatra na vimokshaha, Artah kim tu lokantare gatihi. Sorry, let's speed there. Ichyatra na mokshortaha, Ichyatra na mokshortaha, Kintu lokantare gatihi. Kintu lokantare gatihi. Together. Jivapetam vavikila, Sairam riyate nasaha, Ichyatra na vimokshortaha, Kintu lokantare gatihi. Jivaha, this individual, that is I am, I, you and he. So apetam is rejecting. Sariram, the body, etc. Being is Sthula Sariram, Sukshma Sariram, Karana Sariram. So I am not this. So neti neti, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not this Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha. All I am not. So by rejecting, that is apetam, Sariram, Vava, certainly, mriyate, kila. Indeed, if you, because the sariram is dying, but that is called sariram. Siriyate, it is sariram. That which undergoes continuously deterioration is called sariram. And mriyate, it is kila. It indeed dies, continuously it is dying. It's means continuously modification. Dying means change. Change is the modification, because the child body is gone and the adult body came. Adult body gone, the old age come. So dehi neusmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara. So that's what Krishna starts in the second chapter. This body undergoing continuously mriyate, is dying every day, every minute also. So the previous body is gone, new body has come. Previous body gone, new body has come. Continuous change, and as it goes and goes, things are deteriorating also. So that is the nature of the body. So therefore, it dies. That which is born has to die. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. So therefore, whatever is born has to die. That's why Bhagavad Gita, the highest philosophy taught in the second chapter itself. Saha jivaha, not, therefore is not, it does not die. So here is telling a statement from that's what Bhagavad Gita statements essentially. When the body dies, the jiva doesn't die. So it moves from different direction, different lokas. So jivaha apetaha, when the rejected sariram alone is dying, and jivaha saha jivaha na is not. Iti atra, in this scriptural statement, vimokshaha artaha na. When the body dies and goes, he is not referring to the liberation. There it's only separation of the Sthula Sariram from the Sukshma Sariram. Sukshma Sariram is getting separated from the Sthula Sariram, and that's what is called death. That's why Krishna starts with that, says ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. When shariram is born, is dying, that is not dying. The jiva never dies. Sattve vaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha nasaiva nabhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. So natve vaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha. There was never a time I was not there, never a time you were not there, never a time all these jivas are not there. So therefore, a death of a body is not a death of a jiva. That's how Krishna starts the Gita. This particular sloka is being used by the Bhagavan Ramanuja to claim that it's not the body, jiva is separate, and the jiva is what is that? Is essentially anumatram, is a very subtle, and that subtle body moves all over the place and goes to moksha, different liberation also, going to Vaikuntha instead of the Bhuloka. That's what the moksham, and that's why each one is a separate body. Therefore, each jiva is separate, because he doesn't say all are become one. Natve vaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha. There was never time I was not there and you were not there. So Ishvara was there, you are there, and all these kings that you are facing, they were also there before also. They never die, even when the body dies. So ajo nitya shashvat oyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. So when the body dies, it doesn't die. That's what he is referring to. So jiva is different from the body. So he travels around. That's what he is being. The immortality of jiva is being discussed now. Jiva petam va vikhila Sariram mriyate nasaha. So when the Sariram mriyate, when the body dies, Jiva naha, he does not die, and Jiva apetam, he rejects the body and goes into different lokas. Saha Jiva na. Iti atra, in this scriptural statement, vimokshaha arthaha na. It doesn't say about the moksha. It is not a liberation, freedom from, because everybody samsara is still there, duality is there, you are there, I am there, everybody is there. So therefore we are going into different lokas only. So samsara means samsarati, samyak sarati, that completely keeps moving around, is always there. As long as I am localized, I will be moving around. So vimokshaha arthaha na, kintu lokantare gatihi, moving to a different worlds, is a samsara. Moving is samsara. Looking to different worlds is a bigger samsara. So I am moving around in this world is one samsara, and I am going different worlds and another samsara. So therefore, mortal jiva cannot attain the immortality by moving from one loka to other loka. Only way to moksha is to drop the notion that I am a jiva, and that is going to be they discuss from the 42 sloka that we will take up tomorrow. We'll stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.